to make a review on these. You know everybody makes a review on these sleeves?
Anyway, don't mind me, I'm just watching.
It smells chemical. It smells like hair dye though right now. Like. Oh, right? It's got that new smell to it. Right and left. Okay, this is left. So.
Wait. You can compare this to my SBD while you're happy.
I think it's the same specs and everything.
It's literally, yeah. Do you feel like when my SBDs
The only thing is this has this line and that has the yours goes like this way. They I don't know, it's all marketing scheme.
Well, these feel a little bit stiffer, but like
these are brand new.
yeah,
so
that's the other thing.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, I don't know, I feel like they'd be pretty interchangeable.
It's really good,
But of course, we want to support Smelly Bell.
Yeah.
Buy these strong sleeves.
Oh fuck.
Well,
Wait.
yeah, let me show you how to do it.
No, I know how to.
What are you doing? Yeah.
Check this out, alright? Alright, watch this.
Don't hold on, right?
They're upside down now, though.
You gotta push your foot down.
They're upside down.
No, they're not. Oh, yeah, they are.
Because that's what I would have done if I flipped them over.
Take the sleeve, flip it over.
See,
Like that.
I would do that, but like.
Alright, now stick it on. Like it's fucking dirty dancing. And just,
Alright. Oh,
your
fuck.
calf's too big, bro.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Just pull it up. There you go. Yep, there you go. Just flip it up. That's where it should be. See, way faster.
Damn.
Way faster.
Whatever.
Amateur hour, Russell.
Nah.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, dude.
Oh my god, these are so stiff.
Aren't they nice though?
They are.
Yeah. I mean, right now, it's only 165 right now. It's 2 hours. Dude, like, I'll think, like, you're gonna have to eat like a whole pizza. I do. I'll think it's fun. Nice. That's up. I'll look out. There you go. Take your time to do the rest. There you go. Nice. Go, come on. Up. Come on. Deep breath. Press it up. There you go.
And I said, let there be light. We had a power outage earlier, but now we have light. So, I'm going to give you my review on the strong sleeves, why I like them, and I will compare these to the Slingshot, the original Mark Bell Slingshot. And although I do not have a pair of SBDs myself, I have compared them to my friend's pair of SBDs that are the same exact size. So let's get right into it. I did make a review about 5 months ago on the original Mark Bell Slingshot knee sleeves. So I've had them for 5 months and they've been pretty good. I really have no complaints about them, but it really wasn't until the other day that I noticed this is the only thing that's happened in those 5 months. The seams are kind of coming undone. It's really just the stitching. The stitching's coming apart, but the sleeve is still functioning. I don't know what word to use, but it works fine. It's not gonna tear. It's literally just the stitching. You know how you just have stitching like laying around in your shirt or your pants, and you just roll it up and then just break it off? That's pretty much the only problem. So As we know, the Slingshots are modeled after the original Ray-Bans, which is modeled 70... I forgot what model it is, but you guys know the newer Ray-Bans compared to the older ones. The older ones are the ones that you want, and they're modeled after that. So these you can slip on easy as hell. So I've only had them for 5 months, and I can slip them on absolutely no problem. Taking them off is pretty easy as well. There's really no drama in it. And that's the thing. These are just meant to keep your joints warm and pretty much nothing else. Any rebound that you get from it is quite negligible. You can squat the same without sleeves as you can with these on. So that's really what these were made for, just to keep your knee joints warm. And I've had one complaint about them, which I will go over in my strong, because the same thing applies for my strong knee sleeves. In my original review of these, I said that these are not symmetrical. This one weighs 30 grams more. Well, you're going to say, Russell, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? You goddamn right. You know what? This one weighs 30 grams more. I shouldn't be complaining. Well, I understand that, but when you order pairs of anything, you expect them to be quite symmetrical. 30 grams seems like a minuscule amount, but you can tell the difference. I know you can't tell on screen, but in person, this one is super floppy. This one can still hold up its shape for whatever reason. And this will also apply to my strong sleeves, and I'll get to that after. 30 grams, remember, this one weighs like 115 grams, this one weighs about 145 grams. That's all I'm saying. They're non-symmetrical. Now, the same thing applies to my strong knee sleeves. The designated right leg weighs 155 grams approximately, and this one weighs about 125 grams. I think I weighed them out like that. 30 grams, again, 30 grams might not seem like a lot, but you can tell the weight difference. It's not as bad as these, but on my Slingshots, this one you can tell there's a lot more padding, and it is noticeably thicker than this floppy one over here. Now, just to compare these real quick, this is 30 centimeters long, this is 27. These are quite longer. These are contoured to fit your knees. It's got that little, whatever, that curvature in it. These are straight, so these are a little harder to get on. So, one big thing you'll notice difference right off the bat from SBDs. I don't have a pair of SBDs, but if you know, the strong sleeves, they just have one seam going this way, and that is it. The SBDs are very similar in the fact to the Slingshots that they have this diagonal seams going through the sleeve itself. Now, they say that it has to do with greater torque, blah blah blah. You can bounce out of the hole easier with more power, whatever. You can, well, I don't know nothing about that. It's probably a bunch of BS, if anything. So, what was I gonna say? I'll get to the sizing. The sizing of the strong sleeves and the SBDs are exactly the same. Mark just ripped off, or he just took the SBD sizing and made them his, which no problem with that. But what I've noticed is these are mediums, and my friend has a pair of medium SBDs as well. We have found out that these are slightly smaller. Not that that's a bad thing, it's just an observation. These are slightly smaller. The SBDs are slightly bigger. And that brings me to the next point. So, SBD does not advertise on their website, but when you buy the SBDs themselves, it says on the tag it is made of 95% neoprene, 5% nylon. On Slingshot, it does not say it on the tag. It doesn't say it on the website. All it says is that it's made of neoprene. Now, this is not that big of a deal. It's just what it's made of, pretty much. it's not gonna, you know, negate the function of it on what it's gonna do. But what we found, what me and my friend Jake found, is that the strong sleeves are slightly more stretchy, which leaves me to believe that this is 100% neoprene, and the 5% nylon found in the SBDs make it slightly stiffer. So that begs the question, so these are slightly more stretchy, but also slightly smaller. The SBDs are slightly stiffer and slightly larger. So that's really a compromise you have to make. If that's the case, I really wouldn't be able to tell the difference probably. With that being said, this compared to the SBD has slightly more padding, even though all these knee sleeves, even the Slingshots, they all advertise 7mm thickness, which I do believe. I didn't measure it, but I'm going to take their word for it. It really all feels the same. And so I guess we're going to go to sizing then, because I think I've pretty much covered everything that I wanted to say. If there's any questions you have about these sleeves, I will answer them down in the comments. So these come in 4 different colors: blue, black, pink, and red. I ended up getting blue in medium. My knees measure 38 centimeters or 15 inches, and that puts me in the medium. Do not size down on these. You will not fit into them, I guarantee you. Do not size down on them. Do exactly what they say. Tight fit or competition fit, whatever floats your boat. These I sized down. They're still loose. I probably could have sized down twice. So I probably would have gotten smalls in these if I knew. If I knew that these loosen up a lot over time. These on howmuchyoubench.net retail for $65. These retail for $80 for a pair. I live in Mass. Flat rate shipping is 2-day priority. It's $7.15, so that brings us to $72.15. Brings us to $87.15. Still a $15 difference. SBDs cost $90, and where I live, $97.65. So really, there's a $10 difference between the strong sleeves and the SBD sleeves for myself personally. And of course, the Slingshots are going to be the cheapest. What else was I going to say? So I think that's everything that I wanted to cover on this knee sleeve review. I try to be as in-depth as I possibly could. If there's anything I forgot, or if you have any questions about either of these knee sleeves, except for SBDs, because I don't have a pair of SBDs, but if you have any questions about the original Slingshot ones or the strong sleeves, just put them down in the comments and I will respond to them.